So it wasn't his first rodeo. So what did I do? I spent all my time jacking myself all day long. And I didn't know, I couldn't tell between a customer that could buy or a customer that couldn't buy. After a while, I think after like 2, 3 days of being there with him, I said, dude, I'm not learning anything. And he's like, don't worry, it'll come. And then he says, listen, if you really want to learn, then there's ways I can teach you. And I said, okay, cool. So what do I have to do? And he's like, well, maybe we should go out and we should talk about this. I said, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, listen, I have these two girls that are gonna come to my house, and I paid good money for them. So I'm like, okay, you mean like prostitutes? I was 19. I wasn't even legal to drink. And he says, well, you could call them that, but no, they're friends of mine, and they need money, so I'm helping them out. And he says, come over, and then if you help me, and I'll help you out here I'll teach you all the secrets on how to sell cars. And I said, well, I'm not understanding. What do you want? Do you want me to help you? I don't have money to pay for the girls. What do you want? And then he says, no. Come on down. I want you to fuck these girls with me. So I said, okay. I said, dude, I have a girlfriend, man, And I was thinking, I don't want to fuck these. I'm looking at this guy. He's nasty, I don't want to fuck these girls with him. He's like, no, come on down. And I said, okay. He's like, listen, if you don't want to fuck him, you don't have to fuck him, but just come on down with me. And I said, okay, fine. So Saturday came around and it was closing. It was about, I think it was 8:30, 8:45, and I was selling a car. So he says, hey, you gonna come with me? And I said, sure. So then he waits for me, and then he says, listen, I gotta go. Here's the address. He wrote the address down, and he goes, please come on down. I said, okay. So I finished my day. I went home. I showered. After working 12 hours, at least 12 hours a day, I mean, your ass starts itching, man. You need a shower. So I show up, I go to his house, and I'm there, and then he says, hey, well, first of all, before I show up to his house, it wasn't a house. It was a shitty apartment, okay? It was a shitty apartment in some shitty area in LA. And I was like, man, how is this guy making all of this kind of money? And he lives in a just horrible place. But okay, I'm a green pea. I'm innocent. I walk up, and then I'm knocking on the door, and then I hear some music, and then he comes to the door, and he says, hey, dude, you made it. Come inside. So there's this dude. He smells like cologne, and there's like two, three women there, and everyone is smoking weed, and they're doing drugs. I don't know what kind of drugs they are, because I'm a kid, so I don't know what the hell they're doing. And then they're like, oh, look, this is my friend. I'm gonna help him how to sell cars. And I was a good-looking kid back then. Okay, so maybe that's why he wanted me there. I don't know. But bottom line is, he's there. He's telling me, listen, have fun here. What do you want? Weed? I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'll have a couple of beers. Maybe I had drank like a beer and a half, and then he comes up to me and he says, hey, so you want me to train you, right? Yeah. You want to learn? And then I said, yeah, I do. He's like, all right, well, he's like, we're going to become friends. So you need to know that I like doing certain things. So if I have your trust, then we're good. And I said, okay. I don't know, whatever that means. So he's like, hey, go have sex with one of these girls. Now, again, I'm a kid. I don't want to do that. And I said, look, dude, I'm not even buzzed. Let me chill out. Let me have a few beers. So he's like, all right, fine. So then he continues to drink, and then he walks into his bedroom. I think it was like a one bedroom apartment, maybe two. If there was a second bedroom, I don't remember it. And he walks in there, and then he's doing his business. And then he walks out, and then he says, here's a Viagra. And he gives me a Viagra. I'm 19 years old, okay? And I don't know I've heard of what a Viagra is. It's, supposed to give you a hard on. And he goes, here, take half of it. I'm like, nah. I'm like, no, 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 take half of it. So like an idiot, because I give in to peer pressure, I pop a half of Viagra. He goes back in the room, and then I'm trying to act like this is normal stuff, and I'm drinking beer, and a couple of those girls are talking to themselves, and then he comes back out, and this dude is fucking naked, and he's like, "Come on, let's go," and I'm like, "Let's go what?" He goes, "You have to fuck her." He goes, "I want to see you fuck her," and then I said, "Nah, dude, I'm okay." And I think around that time, I started to feel dizzy. I started to feel like my eyes were I don't know. I just felt like my eyes. There was like a heartbeat in my eyes. It's hard to explain. And I just felt high. I felt dizzy, and it was the Viagra. I've never taken one, and I'm feeling like I'm high and horny at the same time. And he's like, "Come on, let's go fuck." And now I do want to fuck him, okay, but I'm scared, man. I don't know. I don't know what these girls have been. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell this dude wants to do. Like, why is he so concerned with me having sex with one of these girls? Like, he's weirding me out. And I said, "Nah, dude, I'm all right. I'm chill." He goes, "Did you? I saw you take it." He goes, "You should. Come on, let's go." And I'm like, "Nah, let me just chill out." And he goes, "Well, then come in here and watch." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm okay." He's like, "No, no." So this dude's pulling me. His fucking wiener is flapping everywhere, and I'm like, "Dude, fucking, like, back away. You get fucking your dirty dick is almost hitting my pants. Like, back the fuck away." And he's like, come on, check it out." So I all right, fine. So I walked into this room, and it stunk. I mean, it stunk like, oh fuck, man. I don't know. Whatever disgusting, dirty sex, not appetizing, not like, "Hey, I want to have some dirty sex with you." No, no, no. Whatever, like, homeless, like, I'm a bum, fucking dirty sex would smell like, that's what it smelled like. It smelled like fucking, like a dirty bakery with musky clothes, and just, and it was just humid, and it was just fucking vilely gross. And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I'm standing there in front of this fucking guy, and he's like, look at this. He goes, "Don't you want to jump?" And he's having sex with this girl, and this girl is just like, she's not even caring that he's doing this. And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, do your thing, dude." So next thing, I'm just like, "Listen, dude, I gotta go smoke a cigarette. I gotta go outside." And he's like, "Oh, come on, let's go have sex, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "No, let me just go smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back." So then I walk outside. I took a beer. I took a cigarette, and I'm sitting in the stairs smoking a cigarette, just thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, how did my life go so bad? Like, this is my first week in the car business, and I'm at some random dude's house, some washed up guy, and I just saw something that I can't unsee, and my dick is hard. I can't remember it being this fucking hard. I mean, it's throbbing in my pants, but I'm scared to have sex with these girls because it's just not normal. It's just not natural to me to jump in a situation like that. I mean, fuck, man. Just think about it. 2 years before that, I was in high school. No, a year before that, I was in high school because I graduated late. I don't know. I felt just weird. And I said, "Dude, I gotta get the fuck out of here." So I walk down the stairs, I drink my beer, I get in my car, and I got the fuck out of there. And I got home, and I had the biggest fucking hard on you could ever imagine. And at the time, my little girlfriend that I had, I couldn't go see her. It was already late. It must have been close to 1 o'clock in the morning. And there I am, fucking sitting down, just thinking, what the fuck did just happen? It was Saturday. My mother had gone to church. My father had worked that day. He's a trucker. He was a trucker. And he was, my dad's a normal guy. I mean, he works long hours. He provides for his family. He makes a decent income. My mom's a Christian woman. I wasn't raised like this. So there I am, sitting in my bed, and I'm still like high, and I have a massive headache now. Now I just have a fucking pounding headache that just will not go away. And I'm like, dude, my dick feels like it's gonna just fucking crystallize, and if somebody hits it, it's gonna crack like the T-1000 in the Terminator 2. So I go in the toilet, I sit there, and at the time, there was no internet, at least not the way we have it now. I had this shitty internet called, God, I think it was called Net Zero, and it was dial up. So I had to plug. I did have a laptop which my father had bought me, and it was a compact laptop, and I had to plug the phone thing, and it was a dial up, and it took, fuck man, I don't know, it took maybe 10-12 minutes for it to get up and running. And then and then of course when that's happening, there's no calls coming into the house, but it's 1 o'clock, so I'm thinking no one's gonna call the house. So there I am, hoping to go online so I can look at some still pictures of something so I could beat my meat, because I took this Viagra, which, like an idiot, why would I take? I'm 19 years old. So I'm sitting in the toilet and I'm looking at these still pictures, because it was, if you got internet back then from Net Zero, you knew how shitty it was, because it was free internet, and it did nothing but give viruses to your computer. So all you could see is like these like 3 or 4 second videos. Okay, so there I am, pounding my meat to this, and I shot a load from my toilet all the way to the wall. It must have been, fuck man, it must have been like 10 feet, and it hit some of my, my mom's, God, I'm embarrassed to say it hit some of her towels, and I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I gotta put an eye out with this thing, like this is insane. And it was just, I've never, climaxed like that before. And I was like, whoa. And then, my thing went down, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm like, oh man, what a night. I go to sleep for like, I'm trying to go to sleep for 5 minutes, and then my thing is hard again. So I think I beat my meat like 5 times that night. And yeah, that was my first week in the car business. And then I went back. That was Saturday. It was already Sunday. I had to be at work the next day at 8 o'clock, 8:30. I had barely got any sleep. I'm there. I show up, and that dude's not there. But he had a different schedule than me, so I think he showed up sometime around 11 or 12 o'clock. And when he sees me, he's like, hey, man, why'd you leave? We had so much fun. We partied. He's like, hey, by the way, listen, don't tell anybody anything. I really like you, and I trust you. And you reminded me of my son. And I've always wanted to do something like this with my son, but my son doesn't want anything to do with me. So, you remind me of him, and I have a soft spot for you. And I'm thinking, holy shit. No wonder your son doesn't want anything to do with you. You're a fucking sicko. You're a psycho. And I'm thinking, nah, don't worry. I'm not going to say shit. And then he's like, all right, let me show you some stuff. So then the guy begins to teach me some stuff. He's, telling me the difference between a jack, qualify this. It all seems like it's all a blur to me, okay? Because it's information overload. But he did help me sell a few cars. And that was my first week. My second week when we got paid, I said, hey, so how much do we get paid? Because I heard that we get $750 draw. I didn't know what a draw was. And he says, yeah. He goes, you do get that. And then on top of that, you'll get your commission. That's what I thought. I didn't know that it was a draw, was a commission. And it was a payment against the commission. So let's say you make $1,000. They take away the $750, okay? And that's what you get paid. That's what a draw is.